Hey guys, this is Josh Nelson from Nelson Elder Care Law, where we help you protect yourselves and your loved ones from the curveballs of life. Today I had an amazing opportunity, so I appreciate you joining me today at 3 p.m. on Facebook Live to be able to hear Live with a Lawyer. Earlier today, I got to speak with a lot of people that are really high up in Northside Cherokee and some of the things that they're seeing and going on with some of their patients, especially as they transition not only into the hospital, but out of the hospital. And one of the biggest things that they're seeing lately is too many medications, especially for our seniors. And so I want to share a little bit of that information with you and talk to you about some takeaways that you can use to be able to protect you and your loved ones. As we continue to get older, one of the bigger things that we see is more specialists, more medicines, and our primary care physician not being quite as involved as maybe they should be. So if you or a loved one is going through this kind of aging progress, and you got a cardiologist, you got a neurologist, you got an endocrinologist, you have all these people that are giving you medicine, it can add up. They said that if you have 2 medicines, there's only a 13% chance that you'd have a bad interaction. But if you have over 7 medicines, or 7, it jumps all the way to 85%. It's an 85% chance that you're going to have some kind of interaction there that has pretty negative side effects. One of the examples they gave is that if you come in with certain issues going on, they give you a medicine that will have some side effects. Maybe that medicine causes some edema or swelling in the legs, so they give you another medicine that's a diuretic to be able to get rid of that. And pretty soon what you find yourself with is 10, 15, or in pretty extreme cases, sometimes even 30 pills that you're taking a day. And it's hard to understand how these interact together. And so many times, if your loved ones or maybe yourself goes to the pharmacy, especially if you go to multiple pharmacies, but even if you just have one that you stick with and they ask you for that consult, most of us say no, because we know there's other people in line. We got to take the time to care for our loved ones, to care for ourselves, to make sure that we're really having those consults. And one of the questions that they always suggest we say is, as I get older, as I go through different phases of life, are there any of these medicines that I shouldn't be on anymore? Is there anything that I'm on now that maybe causes more risk for me as I continue to age that we can wean off? And it doesn't mean that you completely take it off. Maybe you just try a lower dose. But there are certain medicines, especially some of the dementia drugs, antipsychotics, PPI or blockers, even something as simple as Benadryl, that can be causing a lot of problems. We got to worry about the over-the-counter medicine too. And so they recommend going to a site called unprescribing.org. What this does is allows for you to be able to get some resources, some flyers, to be able to talk about how you talk about it with your pharmacist, with your doctor, with your specialists. Any doctor you go visit is going to be hesitant to start pulling drugs away that your cardiologist says you should be on. But we need to make sure that even if they only give us that 15-minute visit, we're advocating in that room. We're saying, this is my mom, this is my dad, this is my spouse. I need you to take the time to do what's needed. Under Medicare billing codes, there's actually an extra code they can use to bill just for a prescription review with your primary care physician. So setting this up just as a separate appointment, although it might sound a little inconvenient, is definitely something to try. The other thing is, if you or your loved one goes to the hospital and they hold medicine, one of the things that we really, really want to look for is whenever they come back home, how quickly we put that stuff back on. You know, if they go into the hospital for a fall and while they're in there, they pull them off all their blood pressure medicine, and then they come back home and all of a sudden we're giving them 2 different types of blood pressure medicine, whenever they stand up, they're probably lightheaded. It's too big of a change. So make sure that we're focusing on aftercare. Again, one of the biggest things that they recommend is go to unprescribing.org. We'll put a link below. Otherwise, there's a couple other resources. MedSpotter helps you check what might have some negative interactions. They describe, and again, I'm not a doctor, but as you get older, the blood-brain barrier starts to get a little bit more porous. And so things even like aspirin, A lot of us don't realize even Alka-Seltzer now has aspirin in it, like 325 milligrams. And so say you get a little bit of a cold, you're taking a couple Alka-Seltzers a day, you're taking a couple aspirins, it's not hard to really get more of this in your system than you want. As we age, more of that goes into our brain, just because that blood-brain barrier is going to be a little bit more porous, and it can really cause some side effects. If you or somebody that you're working with, as far as a caregiver, a loved one, just somebody that you're concerned with has questions about this, make sure you reach out to us. We've gotten some amazing resources from Northside today, as well as some guidance on how we can help you plan for your future. Again, thanks for joining me. Josh Nelson from Nelson Elder Care Law, every Wednesday at 3 on Live with a Lawyer.